Okay, picture this. It's 185 BCE, and a massive political earthquake has just struck the Indian subcontinent. We're talking about the sudden assassination of the last Maurya emperor. You see, for over a century, the Mauryan Empire had been this colossal unifying force. But the second their commander-in-chief, Pushyamitra Shenga, killed the emperor, that whole centralized structure completely shattered. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's it. Cue the Dark Age, right? Actually, no way. It was the exact opposite. It sparked a really fascinating new beginning.
Take a look at this quote by Jagdish Chandra Bose. By continuous living tradition and a vital power of rejuvenescence, this land has readjusted itself through unnumbered transformations. I mean, that just beautifully sets the tone for this explainer. It perfectly highlights how the breakdown of one massive empire didn't lead to chaos. Instead, it triggered this incredible burst of rejuvenation. The whole subcontinent entered this super dynamic phase of readjustment. Moving away from a strict centralized empire into these interconnected networks actually led to a massive flourishing of art, architecture, and literature, right alongside some really intense political competition. But before we go redrawing any borders on the map, we really need to ask a couple of big questions to guide us today. As we look at these new kingdoms rising from the ashes of the Mauryas, we gotta ask, what exact values guided these new rulers? How did they change the game when it came to statecraft? And how did the arrival of new foreign groups in the somewhat weakened Northwest lead to a rich cultural confluence rather than just, sheer destruction? So here is our roadmap for exploring this wild 500-year span. We'll start with the fall of the Mauryan Empire, then zoom out to the broader Age of Reorganization, check out the powerful Satavahanas, and finally uncover the legends of the South. Let's get started. Section 1. The Mauryan Empire falls, a sudden power vacuum. When the central authority of the Mauryas completely vanished, it left a huge void. And naturally, that opened the door to both internal shifts and outside invasions. Now, we aren't just looking at a tiny blip on the radar here. We're tracking literally half a millennium of constant evolution. From the 2nd century BCE all the way to the 3rd century CE, new regional powers stepped up. They expanded their cultural footprints and built these incredibly vibrant trade networks, before eventually giving way to entirely new political setups. Moving right along to Section 2, the Age of Reorganization, competing for power. Many of the kingdoms suddenly fighting for dominance were actually former tributaries. They were finally free from Mauryan overlordship, and man, the competition was fierce. But war wasn't the only way to secure your borders back then. Rulers leaned heavily on matrimonial alliances, basically offering a daughter in marriage to a neighboring royal family to lock in a vital political bond. Honestly, it was a strategic masterstroke. You turned potential enemies into actual family, ensuring everyone's mutual survival in what was a highly volatile era. Which brings us to Section 3, the powerful Satavahanas, central powers, and queens. As the map of the subcontinent was busy reorganizing itself, the Satavahanas emerged as an absolute powerhouse in the Deccan region, and we have tangible evidence to prove it. Surviving coins from this era are a historical goldmine. These little pieces of currency do way more than just map out their economy. The specific symbols and scripts stamped right into the metal give us direct, hard clues about their language, their rulers, and just how incredibly sophisticated their state apparatus really was. But you know what makes them truly stand out? A super unique feature of their rule: matrilineal naming. Think about it. In an ancient world heavily dominated by strict patriarchal systems, a powerful prince like Gautamiputra Satakarni proudly took his mother's name. And queens like Gautami Balashri, they definitely weren't just figureheads. We have inscriptions showing she held serious sway. She actively donated land to Buddhist monks and wielded real, undeniable political influence that shaped the destiny of the entire kingdom. All right, let's head down to Section 4, Legends of the South, Epics, Trade, and Engineering. While the north and central regions were completely shifting around, the southern edge of the subcontinent was busy writing its own incredible chapter. The Pandya kingdom, ruling from their capital at Madurai, was an absolute economic powerhouse. Even the Greek ambassador Megasthenes wrote home about how ridiculously prosperous they were. And this wealth wasn't just local. Historical records show they were actively exporting hundreds of pearls, which absolutely cemented their status as a major naval and trading power on the global stage. Plus, this era produced some absolutely breathtaking literature. Take the epic of Silaputakaram. It shows us that poetry wasn't just for entertainment. It actually dug deep into the principles of statecraft. The story follows Kannagi and her husband Kovalan, who moved to Madurai for a fresh start. But things take a dark turn. When Kovalan tries to sell Kanagi's anklet, he's falsely accused of theft and executed by the Pandya king. Completely devastated, Kanagi storms the royal court and proves his innocence by pulling out her matching anklet. The king literally dies of shock the moment he realizes his massive failure of justice. After that, Kanagi curses the city, and the god of fire completely destroys Madurai. It's an intense story.
And her legacy really lives on today. Statues of Kannagi, like this one in modern-day Chennai, honor her absolute, unwavering devotion to a ruler's dharma, that cosmic duty to always uphold justice. After Madurai was destroyed, she walked west into the Chera kingdom, where she was actually revered as a goddess. The whole epic serves as this really profound reminder from the ancient world. Ultimate power absolutely has to be balanced by ultimate justice.
But hey, this era didn't just leave us with amazing epics and philosophical ideas. It left us with unbelievable, tangible feats of engineering. Take the Kalanai Dam, built by Karakala. This complex water diversion system on the Kaveri River allowed massive amounts of land to be cultivated, creating what we call the Rice Bowl of the South. And honestly, what is just absolutely mind-blowing to me is that after various restorations, this ancient infrastructure built nearly 2,000 years ago is literally still in use today, providing water to millions of people. So, what a journey, right? We've seen massive empires fall, queens exert immense influence, tragic epics demand justice, and ancient dams that are still watering fields today. The Age of Reorganization wasn't just about mere survival. It was about totally redefining what a society should look like. So, I want to leave you with this. If you were to lay the foundations of your own realm right now, today, what ancient lessons would